Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of live counter review using technical analysis. For today, the flow will be same as usual. First, I'll go through the economic calendar, then the indices and commodities, then followed by some of the sectors like the FAANGM, US Bank, Semiconductor, as well as EV. Then, lastly, I'll end off with the questions you have posted in the chat below and the Q&A. Yeah. So for this week wise economic calendar, not too much. Today market is closed. Tonight market is closed because of the US holiday. Then Wednesday there's a Fed member Bostic will be speaking at 9 p.m. Okay, then Thursday 2 a.m. Fed member Bowman speaking. Okay, this one FOMC meeting minutes at out at 3 a.m. So that will be important. Usual jobless claims at 9:30 p.m. Then we 10:45 p.m. we have S&P Global manufacturing as well as services PMI. Okay, then on Friday 12 a.m. Usual core inventories. Okay, then what else? Okay, Fed Wallace speaking at 8:35 a.m. Yeah. So nothing too much this week. Probably most important one will be the Fed minutes that will be out. Thursday 3 a.m. Yeah. So I'll move on to the indices and commodities. So first up will be Bitcoin. Okay, I think Bitcoin overall currently doing a bit of a sideways after a strong rally over here. Yeah, so I think for now currently will be quite sideways lah, but it's still quite still more towards the upside bias. Yeah, so in terms of the next resistance level, right? When I look at this trend line resistance that it has been respecting, looks like if it goes to touch it again, the resistance likely to be around the 54.7 to about 55K area over there. Therefore, as some resistance things for Bitcoin. Yeah, but for currently, I think it's probably going to be sideways. Some immediate supports will be around the 50 to 50.6K level. Temporary resistance around the 52 to 52.6 to 52.8K around here. Yeah. So a bit sideways for Bitcoin currently. Next one, I'll talk about Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones currently I think it's turning a bit sideways because it's trading outside of this short-term uptrend channel. You can see price recently finding resistance around above 38.7K, this horizontal level over here. So yeah, last week price action was a bit choppy over here. So I think this week could see a little bit more sideways happening. The support is around 38K to 38.4K. Resistance 38.7 to about 39K level. Yeah, so perhaps a bit more sideways consolidation currently for Dow Jones. Next one is Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq looks like it's trading in this rising wedge over here. Okay, I highlight it in blue over here. So yeah, finding resistance at around 16K over here, pull back, then we have a bounce and hit a high of 15.9K. Yeah, so for Nasdaq, I think for this trend to continue, right, it must continue to hold this rising wedge to trade higher. If not, right, if it breaks down, then maybe we'll see like perhaps lower levels being hit like back to 15.4, 15.5 this region again. Yeah, but for now it's still okay. Perhaps a little bit of a consolidation as well. Yeah, in the coming days. Yeah, with 16K still quite some resistance currently. Okay, then next up is S&P. Yeah. So S&P, I think last week it hit a high of close to about 5048. Yeah, so I think this high is quite significant because looking back at my main uptrend channel over here, right, this is quite a significant resistance. So back in July last year, this was also a point where the indices started to pull back a bit. Okay. Then currently you did a retest of this resistance, then had a pullback towards 4920, then had a bounce back again, but Friday end with a bearish candle over here. So for S&P, I think they could pull back a little bit more to do a bit of a sideways if this key resistance holds. Yeah. So but maybe you could see a retest of maybe like 4950 again over here, or yeah, the lower levels would be around 4900. So I think for indices, perhaps a bit of a consolidation ahead. currently. Then next one is gold. Gold, I think nothing too much. Nothing too much this year yet. It's just been sideways over here. Yeah, so recently came back to test near the support around the 198 something over here, then did a rebound. So I think perhaps you could see a little bit more bounce towards like 203, 2030, 2030 to 2040. There's some short-term resistance over here. I think we consider consolidate a bit further. Yeah, so nothing for gold, nothing too much for now. Next up for oil, okay. I think oil uh also just sideways for now. Currently it's between like 75.5 to about 78.5, this range over here. But the bigger picture looks like this resistance at around close to 80 is still holding. Recently, yeah, finding resistance over here, but forming higher lows in the process. So perhaps it's like a big ascending triangle over here. Yeah, but currently I think probably gonna see some sideways action. First for oil. Okay, then next up is VIX. Okay, yeah, for VIX I think Um, still mostly in a sideways range pattern. Although we've seen a bit of a higher highs and higher lows being formed over here, but it's quite gradual now. So mostly I think still probably gonna be sideways. Resistance around the 16 to about 18. Then currently support is around the 13 to 14 area. Yeah, so VIX I think still sideways for now. Then last but not least is copper. Yeah, copper also quite sideways lah. Just for this year, just chopping around between finding support around 3.7 around there. Then it hit about 3.9 is the resistance. So it just keeps on trading this range. Okay, next up I'll move on to the FAANGMs. Okay, so first up is Meta. Okay, Meta, I think yeah, the price action wise after the earnings, nothing too much. It's just trading sideways, very range bound over here. Yeah, last week we did a retest of 485, and then we had a slight pullback on Friday. So I think currently looks like it's still quite good. This is still holding at the 5 and 10 day MA, these blue and red color lines. Yeah, so I think if you can hold along this MA, then if it does a consolidation at a higher level over here around 470 to 485, then perhaps there's a chance for you to trade higher. If it breaks below this 470 level, right, then I think you could be seeing it come a bit lower to test the range support around 455 to about 460. So I think for Meta, probably a bit more sideways action still for now. Okay, then next one is Apple. Okay, for Apple, I think the overall picture looks like it's still quite weak. So did a multiple retest of this 180 support level. But every time you see the first bounce, it reached 196, second bounce, it reached 190 around here. So perhaps we could be seeing a bit of a third bounce coming. So I'm anticipating that maybe it does third bounce and make a lower high again, since that it's respecting this downtrend resistance line currently. So a bit of a descending triangle in this period currently. So I think Apple a bit weak for now. 184, 185 will likely be some resistance over here. Then support is 180. But if it breaks 180, the next level to look at, I think probably around 176, where there's the next horizontal, then followed by 173. So that's for Apple. Next one is Amazon. Okay, Amazon after the earnings, similar to Meta is just trading sideways over here. So support around 167, and here the highs is around 175. Yeah, so probably just gonna trade sideways for a while. As long as this range at 167 lows hold, then we'll see some rebound towards like 170 and 175 the key levels again. So I think nothing too much for now. Next one is Netflix. Okay, Netflix I think was consolidating over here, but towards end of last week, it looked good. So it punched up above the 5 and 10-day MAs, then also set a higher high after the earnings. So I think for now, if it does a bit of a back test to retest the recent resistance breakout around 570, which is also this MA support currently, then I think probably going to find some support over there. So yeah, if it does a back test and find support, then rebounds off, then perhaps it could continue this uptrend over here. So yeah, overall it's still looking quite strong. The next key resistance will probably around 615, 620. We will swing high back in December 2021. Yeah, if it continues to form higher highs. So for Netflix, I think it's still looking good. Look at the price action end of last week. Okay, then next one is Google. Okay, Google I think is a bit weak. Okay, see, Google is like trading outside of this rising wedge pattern currently. Yeah, so originally we had a nice uptrend over here. Then after it hit the previous all-time highs of about around the 152 level, right? Then after the earnings, there was a gap down. Then it bounced a bit to form a lower high over here at 449. Then afterwards it's traded lower. And it's currently below all the MAs as well. So it looks like it's trading outside this rising wedge. If it continues the bearish momentum, I think it could see lower lows being formed um around 135, 130, 135 around there at some key levels below at for Alphabet. Yeah, so I'm expecting a bit more weakness for Google in the near term now. Okay, then next up is Microsoft. Okay, price action wise for Microsoft is overall is trading in this uptrend channel over here, but I think it starting to pull back from the resistance. So after the earnings, there was a sell down at first, then after the recovery back, then break above this 41445 level to test the resistance. But it was followed with selling straight away. So and then with the breakdown recently, right? I think I'm expecting some downside for a while. Given trading below the MAs and then with this this a bit of a short-term reversal over here. So I'm expecting price to come a bit lower to test perhaps this low again, around 396, 397, which maybe could coincide with this main uptrend channel support. And perhaps you could see a bounce again. So short-term, perhaps some pullback, but overall long-term uptrend is still intact for Microsoft. Yeah, so that's for the FAANGMs. Next one, I'll move on to the financial sectors. Okay, so for the financials, um, it is still trading higher. Recently has been a bit sideways over here. But end of last week still had a break above the highs, the recent highs of 39.4, then we hit like 39.8. Yeah, so at this level, I think it's quite near the previous high back in January 2022. That was around 40 about that. So I think near term wise, I would think not much upside lah. Also for now, looks like it's probably gonna test the previous highs. So perhaps maybe a pullback and further consolidation along the way for this XLF. And look at the momentum also, price is forming higher high, but momentum has been quite flat. Over here, MACD also has been quite flat as well. Yeah, so perhaps a bit more sideways ahead. Okay, then first up is JP Morgan. JP Morgan still looks good. So it looks like break above 176 over here. This consolidation end of last week. So could still be making higher highs if it as long as it holds this 176 level, this breakout level, then I think this after the break of this consolidation it could still trade higher for JP Morgan. Okay, then next one is Wells Fargo. Okay, Wells Fargo had a break above this 50.4 level to hit a high of around 52.4. But I think um it did a retest of this trend line over here again, which has acted as a key resistance in the past. So I think if this trend line holds, perhaps we could see a bit of a pullback and sideways for a while for Wells Fargo. Yeah. So perhaps we will see some consolidation between 50.4 to about 50, this 52.4 range for the timing over here. And next up is Bank of America. Yeah, Bank of America still rather sideways over here. Yeah, so for now it's still probably gonna be a bit sideways. Yeah, but if there's a break above the recent level of 34.2, then perhaps you could see it try to retest this key trend line resistance again, which is around, they'll put it around 35.3, about there. Then also this level will be close to a previous swing high back in February last year over here, 35.8. Yeah. Then last one will be Citigroup. Okay, Citigroup. Citigroup still trading higher highs and higher lows over here. So I think as long as can hold this recent low at 52.2, then perhaps it could still move higher to retest the recent high of 57.4 over here. Yeah, still trading, moving up gently over here in this stretch. Yeah, so that's for the US banks. Okay, then next one I'll move on to semicon sector. Okay, semicon, first I'll look at the SOX, the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. For this, still holding up well. This ascending broadening wedge over here. Recently some resistance at the 4,600 level over here. So I think for now maybe a bit of a sideways. Looks like maybe a bit of a sideways consolidation first, but overall the trend wise is still quite strong. Price is still above 5, 10, 20 MAs. Yeah, so maybe we see a bit of a consolidation first for this stocks index, but still the uptrend is still intact. Okay, then next one is I'll talk about Nvidia. So for Nvidia, recent price action has been rather sideways over here. After hitting this ascending broadening wedge resistance around 540, right? This 540 level has been acting as a bit of a resistance currently. So I think for now, maybe a bit of a sideways pattern over here, but still quite strong. Still above 5 and 10-day moving average. So the last time it did a bit of a dip towards 10-day MA around this 607 level and did a rebound. So but maybe we'll see something similar again. This week, if it does a bit of a retest of 10-day, then we do a bounce again. Yeah, for Nvidia. Yeah, another for Nvidia, there will be earnings release, I think, on Wednesday after market hours. And so that will be the important thing. Maybe let's see how it moves the counter afterwards. So that's something to take note of if you are trading Nvidia. Yeah, for now, a little bit of a sideways first. Then on the other semicon counters, next one is AMD. Okay, AMD also a bit sideways, starting to trade a bit sideways recently in this range over here. Yeah, so short-term wise, resistance around 180 over here. So recently did a retest of this 180 again and had a pullback. For this counter to trade higher, I think it needs to hold above this 5, 10, 20 MAs over here. Then to then challenge this 180 again, then we can see 184 again. If it breaks below the Friday lows again, maybe then high chance we'll see like continue the range again to see like we test the range support around 164, 165 again. Yeah. Yeah, so that's for AMD, a bit range bound currently as well. The next one is a TSM. Yeah, TSM also after after a run towards 134, which was quite close to this resistance of 136, then started to pull back a bit again. Currently below 10-day MA as well. So a bit of a slight pullback, similar to what we saw towards end of January over here. So I think for this counter to trade higher, it needs to have a bullish candlestick to get above this 5-day, 10-day MA again. And then there will be a chance that we test the highs at 134 over here. If it continues a bit of a pullback, then maybe it comes to reconnect to 20 again, or this horizontal resistance breakout around 120, 121 over here. Then before it starts to bounce again. Yeah, so a bit of a slight short-term pullback for TSM currently over here. And then for Marvell, yeah, Marvell after a retest of the prior resistance at 66 over here, it did a bounce. Then they came back to retest this support again. So currently price action wise is also a bit sideways over here. The key for it to continue trading sideways will be these lows at 66 must be able to hold. Then we can see the counter to retest maybe the first resistance at 70 again, then followed by the higher resistance around 73. Yeah, so it will be important to see whether it can hold over here. Yeah, for Marvell. Okay, next up would be Micron. Okay, Micron, I think personally wise, I think yeah, it's been quite weak since breaking down of this uptrend channel over here. And so price has traded down towards near some first level of support, which is around this 70.879 level, which was previous resistance. Price backtest over here before moving higher. So we are quite close over here. I think it might get a bit of a bounce around this level. But then short term, we're probably gonna see lower highs being formed. So short term resistance wise, probably around 82, 83 over here, where there was a cluster of swing low supports previously that were as a resistance. Given that price also broke down this 84.5 range recently as well. Yeah, so for Micron looking a bit weak for now. It's Broadcom. Okay, Broadcom I think for now still trading in this uptrend channel, but momentum is a bit slowing down. Looking at the momentum indicators, and we see the RSI. Yeah, so look, for now, finding some difficulty to break above this 1290 level over here. So for the key for it to remain in this uptrend over here is for it to get back above this channel support again. Yeah. Also, it needs to hold over the 20-day MA as well to find some support back. If not, if it breaks below, right, then likely we're gonna see this bullish momentum fade a bit, and then become more of a bit of a range where you will likely retest these supports over here around the 1180 to about 1200 zone over here. Yeah, so for Broadcom need to get back. Need to see a bullish candle back, then it can trade higher. If not, probably gonna turn out to be a bit of a range for the short term. Then last one I'll talk is Intel. Okay, Intel after the earnings, there's a dip towards this near this support level for the 41.7. Then it did a rebound. Finding resistance the first time upon retest of the post earnings high day high level. So a bit of a pullback again. Generally, I would think that currently it's probably going to trade in this range over here. The resistance are 45, then support is going to be around 42.5 about there. So I think for short term wise, Intel going to trade a bit sideways in this range. This range currently. Okay, then last sector before I cover the counters that I mentioned, will be EV sector. Okay, first up will be on Tesla. Okay, for Tesla, I think some good signs. Price has been range from a double bottom at 180. Then afterwards, you see momentum starting to come back, to increase back again. And then end of last week, we had a break above this 194, 195 resistance level. So there's some positive signs. I would think that if you can hold this 194 over here, probably we're going to see a retest to close this gap. So okay, retest of this 207 prior support breakdown to close out this gap. Yeah. So that's for Tesla. I think short term wise should be seeing a bit of a bounce. If you can trade higher, then next resistance level will be around 215, 216 over here. Also will be test of this downtrend resistance line again. Yeah, so for Tesla, I think short term wise is looking better for now. Okay, then next one is for Xpeng. Okay, Xpeng also doing a bounce after near the support of yeah, also near the previous swing low support at 7.6. So they are rebound currently above all the AMEs. But I think short term some resistance at these levels over here around 10 to 10.4. Then if it retest this zone, then perhaps you see a pullback again to form a higher low along the MA supports. So horizontal support wise currently is around 9 over here, where previously it was a breakdown level, price dip below, then recover back above and hold it held above this level and trade higher. So if it does a back test, I think this likely will be a short-term support for Xpeng. Okay, then next one, Rivian. Yeah, Rivian also a bit of a sideways over here, but some positive signs. Momentum is getting back a bit. Yeah, then price also holding above the MAs as well. I think as long as these holds, then it needs to break above 16.8. 16.8 this horizontal level, then you can trade higher. With the next resistance being around 18 about there. But it also has this downtrend resistance line. Yeah. So I think for now a bit sideways, but if you can hold these recent lows, I think it's more towards a bit of upside bias for a bit of bounce towards 18 around there. Okay, then last one is NEO. Yeah, okay, NEO also following the rest, bit of a sideways recently, then but currently trading above the MAs as well. So I think for NEO, short-term resistance wise, likely to come in around the test of this 6.6 to about 6.8, these swing highs over here. So probably we're gonna see a test of this and maybe a pullback to form maybe of a range for time being. Yeah, so a bit of a recovery in terms of the price action for the EV sector currently. Okay, I'll talk about the counters you have mentioned. Okay, hi, BYR. First up will be Trip.com. Okay, for this Trip.com, I think currently it's trading this uptrend channel over here. So price action wise, currently looks like we tested this channel resistance again. So if that holds, then maybe we see a bit of a short-term pullback first. Yeah. So currently support will be around the 39 to about 40 this zone over here. With us a bit of a pullback. But I think the uptrend wise is still intact. Yeah, the next key reasons to look at will be around this 43.5 swing high over here for Trip.com. So yeah, still trading this uptrend over here, perhaps a bit of a pullback if it respects this resistance for now. Okay, next one is SoFi. Okay, for SoFi currently, after the results, there's a gap up, then there was sell down, consolidation, then a bit of a bounce. So currently price is a bit holding between like 7.9 to about 8.5 over here. So perhaps a bit is doing a looks like it's doing a bit of a range sideways consolidation currently. If the resistance at 8.5 holds, then there could be a pullback towards near 8 over here, which is also the MA supports. Yeah, so perhaps a bit of a sideways consolidation first. But some positive is that it's holding a higher low. So if the higher low trend continues, then after this sideways consolidation range, perhaps you could see a break upwards to retest the earnings highs again, which is around 9.2 to 9.4 over here. Okay, then next one is on C3 AI. Okay, for C3 AI, I think recently there was a bit of a rally over here, but it's after it hit quite near these resistance levels, the strong resistance around 31.6 level. Yeah, then it did a bit of pullback. For now, I think maybe it's doing a bit of a pullback towards to find some supports at the MA again, as well as the previous horizontal. So it broke out of this horizontal resistance level 27.2, which is likely to act as support if it does a back test over here. Then it's also quite near the MA supports as well. So I think for now it's doing a bit of a pullback. Then likely to find some support at these levels, then it'll probably bounce again, maybe to do a bit of a sideways consolidation. Yeah. Okay, hi Steven. Next one, okay, Amazon covered just now, then MSI. Okay, Motorola Solutions. Okay, Motorola Solutions for this still trading in this long-term uptrend over here. So still nice. Recently price action wise suggests a bit of a range consolidation going on. So still some resistance around the 330 level. But good thing is that support is still holding at the previous resistance breakout. This range resistance breakout of 316. Okay, so 316 to 320 over here still holding as a support. So this hold, I think still let you see a bounce towards this 330 level again to continue a bit of a consolidation. Yeah, so I think for now maybe some continued consolidation first. Yeah. Then next one is MOC. MOC. Yeah, I'm not sure whether which counter this one is referring to. Maybe you can spell out the full counter name in the chat below, then I'll look at it again. Next one IYG. For this IYG, I think still trading uptrend over here. But it looks like it's probably respecting it will respect this uptrend trend line over here. So 188, 189, we could see some short-term resistance come back again. So likely we could see a bit of a pullback again, but the trend wise, I think still looking well, has been forming higher lows, and there was a clear range consolidation over here. So short-term support wise, probably gonna see some, if it does a back test of the resistance breakout, like you're gonna see support at 105 again. And then I think likely gonna slowly, it will slowly go up over here. it continues this trend over here for this IYG. The next one is a Newmont Corporation. And for this Newmont, recently it touched a support level of 31.6, 31.7 back in the past. This was back in 2019 over here. Currently retesting a broken support of the, around 33.3. There's also previous support breakdown around 34.4 over here as well. So looking at the MAs, we see some resistance around here if it does a bounce towards 34, 34.4. Yeah, which is also 20-day moving average, as well as a key support breakdown. So I would think, yeah, if it does a bit of a bounce over here, probably gonna see a bit of a pullback and trade sideways, for the time being. This is GE. Okay, for General Electric, yeah, very strong after trading in this uptrend channel, then it just traded higher along the way. So I think for now it's at a first level of resistance back in the past. So looking back at the older charts, around 104, 148 over here was a previous support as well, and then previous resistance. So around here could see a bit of a sideways consolidation. Yeah, then the short-term support wise will be around 140, 142 around here. Yeah, so maybe a bit of a sideways. Yeah. Then the next resistance level higher will be around, let's see. Next key resistance will be around 150, close to 157. 155 to 157 about there. Yeah, so I think for now still okay, maybe some a bit of a sideways consolidation first. Reconnect the 5 and 10-day average MAs before it continues its uptrend higher for GE. Okay, next one is GE Healthcare. Okay, for GE Healthcare is quite bullish as well, trading above this uptrend channel, also clearing above this horizontal resistance at 83. So probably is gonna do a retest of these swing highs over here, around the 87.7 level. Yeah, then maybe afterwards it'll do a bit of sideways, a bit of a pullback, then maybe some sideways consolidation first. But the whole uptrend is still quite strong over here, especially with the recent breakout. I'm expecting some consolidation first, then it just break out again, then probably gonna see new highs being formed for these GE hits. Okay, next one is RTX. Yeah, so for RTX, currently looks a bit sideways consolidation. So after the breakout of this downtrend resistance line, it went up to retest this prior horizontal support at 90, 91. Started to do a bit of sideways consolidation. Yeah, so I think if it's quite near the 20, so if that holds, maybe we see a bit of a bounce again towards like 92.5 and 2.6 over here. Yeah. So likely you're gonna see probably the whole thing is still uptrend over here. Still higher highs, higher lows, respecting this 20-day MA. So maybe you see a bit of a bounce soon if it respects the 20 MA again. Then next key resistance for this will be around 94 over here. There's the next level, then followed by 97 for RTX. Okay, hi Andrew. Next one, let's see. Okay, new I covered just now. I'll skip to Mara. Okay, Marathon Digital. Okay, for Mara, I think it's quite near the resistance. Uh, 30, yeah, previously 31.3 swing high over here. Also, back then, this was also swing high resistances, 30, 32.7. Yeah, so around this level, quite near the resistance. Maybe we see a bit of a sideways consolidation first. Currently, it's still holding at 5-day MA. If it does a bit of pullback, maybe you see try to retest the 20-day, the 10-day MA again. Then do a bit of a sideways. For now, given it's currently near resistance. Okay, then next one is C Limited. Okay, for C, I think looking good. I think after a very long period of consolidation over here, broken out over here and just trading along the 10-day moving average has been finding support over here. So for now, I think likely it's gonna come back to retest this swing highs over here is around the 46.3 to 48.4 over here, where probably gonna find some resistance again. Then maybe do a bit of a sideways afterwards. Yeah, for C Limited. But I think overall it looks good and this stretch, especially after a long consolidation. Then you had this breakout over here. So I'm expecting a higher range to be formed in future. We have Paulina. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm very strong run up recently, but after these few candles over here, most of last week has been just trading sideways. So still some resistance at 135. Um, then in terms of the nearby horizontal supports, I think it will be around 116 to 120 over here. Yeah, so I think currently on Friday it closed below the 5-day MA. If it does a bit of a pullback, I think we might see the counter cool off a bit. Maybe to retest this support around 160, 120 and wait for the 10-day moving average to catch up. Yeah, so I think overall still okay, but maybe a bit of a rest for this counter first, given the how it ran up recently. And Nvidia at TSMC I covered earlier. Okay, hi Melvin, Teva. Okay. Okay, Teva, I think it's still looking good trading in this uptrend channel over here. And then keep on respecting the 10 and 20-day MAs as well recently. Yeah. So for now, currently, we might do a bit of a dip again. Currently, is retesting this trend line resistance. So maybe a bit of a dip, perhaps, then move higher. But looking at the bigger picture, currently is a bit at a key resistance. So previously, a lot of resistance here around the 13.2 to 13.8. So this zone, it might just consolidate a little bit further. Yeah, given the strong resistance from the past. one is VIRT. Okay, for this VIRT currently in a downtrend recently has been just sideways consolidation. I'm expecting still some resistance around the 17 level, given this is a 20-day ME, and also this was previous support breakdown as well. It does a retest. Probably gonna see some resistance first. But positive is that looks like it's still holding 5 and 10-day MAs for now, with a support around 16.5. So maybe a bit of a sideways going on first for virtue in the short term. The next one is BHP. Okay, for BHP currently, finding support at the previous resistance again around the 59 level, previous resistance over here. Here retest of 20-day MA. So maybe if it finds some resistance, do a bit of pullback. With some support at 59 over here, maybe some sideways range first as well. Yeah, generally it's been quite range for a while in this stretch. Okay, then next one, Roblox. Yeah, so Roblox after the earnings they kept up to do a retest of the highs at 47. Then there was a bit of a pullback going on. But I think for now, maybe some sideways. It did a retest of the prior resistance over here around 42 and find some support. Also 20-day MA is catching up. So I think yeah, should be still supported around 42 over here. Then maybe do a bit of a sideways first. Short-term resistance around 40 around the 44.5 to 45 area. Perhaps you do a bit of sideways consolidation first for Roblox. Okay, next one is Melco Resorts. Before this, near a retest of the resistance again. So it's entering back into the resistance zone of 9 to about 9.6 over here. Yeah, recent price action has been a bit sideways for now. So in terms of wise, currently it's at 8.8 with 10-day MA. You find some support, it could bounce, but if it goes a bit lower, then you're looking at 20-day, probably around 8.6. Yeah, maybe 8.5, 8.6 over there, then could just sideways for a while first. Okay, next one, super micro computer. Okay, this one, yeah, it's a very bullish counter. Yeah, so after a very parabolic run over here, on Friday, finally we saw a very strong profit taking action. High volume as well. Yeah, so in terms of this, currently is below 5-day MA. So yeah, we might see a retest of the 10, currently 770, then yeah, perhaps you see a bit of a bounce afterwards. But I think with this kind of price action, probably what I think is that if there was a dip, then probably gonna see some bounce, but a lower high, then probably gonna see some sideways consolidation afterwards. Yeah, after such a parabolic run, it probably needs some consolidation. Yeah. The interesting thing is that I saw this counter, it reached the RSI was around 96 on the previous day. So it's really very high for this counter. Okay, hi, Michael again. Qualcomm. Okay, Qualcomm, I think is probably gonna do a bit of sideways first. like currently it did at the upper top of this 157 level. Yeah, so I think for now maybe some short term pullback. MA support is around 149150 over here, which also coincides with the horizontal level. So we might find some support here, do a bit of bounce sideways for the time being. Yeah. Next one, applied materials. The applied materials has been very strong. After forming another all-time high after the result. So in terms of price action wise, can't predict what's gonna happen next. Maybe it consolidates a little bit, like most of the stocks that kept up after the earnings. Yeah. Yeah. So for this, maybe it's just trading around around 190 to 200s for the time being now. Yeah. Okay. Then next up is Slum Research. Okay, for Lam Research, I think for this still uptrend over here, forming higher highs, higher lows. But I think perhaps maybe some pullback, some short-term pullback again. Previous time informed this shooting star, it did a bit of pullback towards 5 and 10 day MA again sideways before moving higher. So maybe we could see something similar again. Recently there's a horizontal support around 8 around 870s over here. Yeah. Also the 10-day movement is around 86. So maybe a bit of a dip first and sideways before moving high again. Yeah. The next one, Disney. Okay, Disney is positive. Is that it broke out the downtrend resistance line over here after the earnings. Currently a bit of a sideways consolidation first. Yeah, so still finding a bit of resistance at 1213. So it could do a bit of a pullback sideways further a bit first. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I'm expecting a bit of range consolidation first. With some support. If it dips, then the support at 100 it should be quite okay. Horizontal support as well as 10-day moving average coming up. Yeah, next key resistance for Disney will probably be these swing highs at around 117 over here. Okay, ExxonMobil quite a range recently. Yeah, so for now it's still holding the resistance at 104 over here. Generally quite range. So could see a pullback again to like 104 this range again. Yeah, but if it breaks out, the next resistance to look at will be around 107, this level over here, these highs. So I think for Exxon, maybe a bit of a range first. Okay, hi Chunbing, Zscaler. Okay, Zscaler I think is still trading quite nicely in this uptrend channel over here. Um, yeah, so I think in terms of if it does a pullback, near-term support-wise is quite near around this 245 horizontal as well as the MAs. I think probably gonna do a retest and then move higher. Continue to trade this uptrend channel over here. Yeah. If it bounce up again, then resistance around the 260s, 266 perhaps. Steven, PayPal. Okay, PayPal after earnings was a gap down, then we tested this horizontal at 57. Um, yeah, then currently it's still is below this horizontal 60.5. So it looks like a bit of a sideways probably gonna happen here for now. Still some finding a bit of resistance at 10-day MA. Yeah, so if that holds, maybe you see a bit of range consolidation like 57 to 50, to about 60 for now first. Yeah, for PayPal. Okay, next one, Alibaba. Okay, Alibaba generally is still quite range over here in this. So the main range is around 70 to 77. Then after results, there was a bit of a rebound. Uh, the key for it to trade a bit higher would be to hold the 73 level perhaps, which is this the MAs as well. So that if that holds, then maybe we see like 70. We could see 77 again. And if it doesn't, then probably we're gonna see like 70, 71, this the low end of the range again. So but it looks like a bit of a still sideways for Alibaba for time being. I agree. Next one is PAR Technology. Okay, PAR, I think the long term wise is looking not bad recently. So it finally broke out above this 45.8, this key resistance over here. Then it's just doing a bit of sideways consolidation first. So I think as long the lows is here is able to hold, I think there could be some positive towards the upside. There's a breakout of this 50 level resistance level now. And that could bring the counter to the next key resistance of like 55 around here. Yeah, so I think it's still looking good. Looking like a bit of a consolidation after a breakout for a time being. Okay, then next up is Unity. Unity I think generally has is been quite range bound over here. It's still holding at it's still holding about this 31.6, 31.7 previous horizontal. Also the recent lows over here, but the resistance has been around 35.4. Yeah, so doing a bit of a range over here now. So I think that probably still continue for the time being. Yeah. So for it to trade higher, it needs to hold these MAs support around 33.3 about there. Then we see whether it can break out over 35.5 level. Then the next resistance upwards will be closer to like 37, 37, then followed by 38.8, 39. Yeah, so that's for Unity. Then we still got some time left. You can feel free to drop more counters in the chat and Q&A box, then we can talk about it. Yeah. Okay, for Twilio, I think quite bearish for now. After a period of consolidation, then after the results, there was this gap down and sell off. So I think currently it's broke through like two support levels around 63 and 60. I'm thinking if the bearish momentum continues, we could see it retest like the 57 level over here again. And we see whether there's some pause to the bearish momentum. Yeah, but for this kind, I think likely going to see sell down, then a bit of a bounce and consolidation. First for the time being, for Twilio. Okay, hi, Chumbing, Eli Lily. Hey, Eli Lily, I think it's still very strong, holding up well. So can see recent price action. We have a consolidation. Then there was a breakout of 740 and price continue to make on new all-time highs. So yeah, still very strong. 5 and 10 is still 5 and 10 MA is still holding well for this counter. So I think nothing has changed now. Still in a very strong uptrend. Currently. If there's a pullback, I think likely gonna find some likely will be supported at least higher lows and these MAs as well. Yeah. Okay, hi Alan. Elf Beauty. Let me see. Okay, Elf Beauty, I think after the earnings has been quite sideways over here, but I think it's still positive, still forming, still holding at the previous resistance, 163 as a support over here. Resistance, but I think probably gonna be around 179, 181 around here. The recent highs as well as this trend line resistance. So I think for the time being, perhaps a little bit of a sideways, perhaps a little bit of a sideways consolidation first. But yeah, looking at the price action recently. This one is Cloudflare. Okay, for Cloudflare, yeah, after earnings there was a gap up, but it didn't manage to test the 122 this level. Then there was a bit of a pullback that has been going on. Looks like currently below the 10, sorry, below 5 MA. I think likely gonna test the 10, looking at how it is going now. So yeah, maybe a bit of a retest at 90, around the 96. Then we see whether it could do a bit of a bounce. Short-term resistance will be around this 104 level over here. Yeah, so at this level, I think we'll probably find some resistance and do a bit of sideways trading for the time being. Yeah. The next one is Lumina Tech. Okay, Lumina Tech, I think for now a bit bearish. Looks like probably gonna break down this range consolidation 2.6 to 3. So below the MAs as well. So see there was a bearish candle, there was a retest, and then it was followed out a bearish candle on Friday. So I think if it continues momentum, probably gonna see it retest the lows like 2.3, 2.3s over here. These lows over here again. And next one is Adobe. And so Adobe didn't look good on Friday, it sell down with high volume. I was thinking whether it could hold this swing low 567, but this horizontal level it didn't. So I think probably it would probably test another horizontal around the 540 level over here. Yeah, see whether it can hold. If not, it will be a lower support at near the 500 um 107 over here already. I think this level should be able to hold if it really goes down to this level. So yeah, for now quite bearish. Um maybe need to see stopping of the selling first, then could see maybe some consolidation sideways for a while, yeah, for Adobe. Next one, Gillette Sciences. Okay, I think for Gillette a bit bearish. It's been trending downwards over here and then broke below the support 72 over here. So if it continues, maybe the next level will be this gap up candle over here again. which is around 70. Then there's also a gap over here as well. Below the gap is 68. Yeah, so perhaps we might see some gap fill over here. It continues the sell down. So I'm a bit more bearish Gilead Sciences for now. Okay, next one is Pfizer. Okay, Pfizer currently looking like a bit of a sideways consolidation. A bit of a support coming in at 26.7 over here too. But short-term resistance wise is still around 28 to 28.5 around here. So I think maybe some short-term sideways movement over here for the time being. So it's market excess holdings. So for this, after the sell down over here, there was a bit of, I think currently a bit of a sideways over here. So yeah, support 215, resistance 228. So it needs to break above the Friday highs of about 221. Then perhaps you could see 228 again. Yeah, but I think for the time being, a bit of a consolidation first to decide the next move upwards or downwards. Okay, next one is EA, Electronic Arts. Okay, I think for the time being, looks like a retest of these highs at 143. Then there's some pullback and it's a bit of resistance acting on it. So pulling back a bit. Maybe I think it could pull back further a bit to retest this resistance breakout, 140 level. Yeah. And maybe see a bounce afterwards. So maybe a bit of a reconnect with the MAs as well over here. And next one is CME Group. CME Group for now still at the 215 level, still acting as resistance over here. Recently try to get above, but it was met with selling straight away. So I think for now maybe a bit of a pullback towards a retest of the resistance breakout level, which is around 207, 208 over here. Yeah, then maybe a bit of back test of the MAs over here again, then maybe see a bounce afterwards for CME Group. Okay, Yum Brands. Okay, Yum Brands, I think not bad. Break above this 132 consolidation resistance. So I think for now, it's likely to trade higher towards a retest of the higher resistance levels, which is around like 137 to 139, this area over here. Yeah, so I think could move out a little bit further for Yum Brands. Okay, then for ConocoPhillips, and for ConocoPhillips, little bit bearish is that trading outside of this long-term uptrend support line. So it's starting to do a bit of sideways outside of it. So for now, I think still probably gonna hold up this sideways 108 to like 130, 114 over here for now. Yeah, but the long-term trend a bit turning a bit like breaking below and going a bit lower for these ConocoPhillips. Next one, BEPC, Brookfield Renewable Corporation. Okay, for this, I think currently still pulling back over here. Yes. But I think probably gonna find some support if it retest like 24 over here. Previous horizontal resistance, which will likely act as a bit of support over here. Yeah, so maybe if it retest this level, it could do a bit of a side base afterwards. My high Alan upstart. Okay, upstart after the earnings, there was a gap down over here. Then yeah, I think a bit bearish for now. The key is to see whether this 2570 horizontal is able to hold. Previously, it was a support resistance. Recently tested a bit twice. So this needs to hold for a bit of a sideways between to retest like 29 again. If not, if this doesn't hold, likely we're gonna see lower lows to go towards 23, perhaps this level. Yeah, it's the next support level. AHYG. This is some German counter if I'm not wrong. Yeah. But not much volume going on. So I'm not sure whether this is the correct counter. Maybe you can type in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. I raise ST Lauder. Yeah, ST Lauder after results there was a gap up. Then sell down, then starting to form with a range over here. So I think it's still positive. Still holding 5 and 10-day MAs as well. So I think as long as these holds, I think forming like a bit of a mini ascending triangle over here, where forming higher lows and resistance at 147. So it needs to break over this 147 level. Then likely we're gonna see try to retest the close to this 160 high again. Yeah, I think as long as it can hold and break above it, it's still okay for ST Lauder. Okay, then next one is Pinterest. Okay, for Pinterest, I think generally quite range. But after the earnings was gap down and sideways, then it looks like retest of this support again, 35, 3540, 3550 over here again. So I think this needs to hold for the range to continue to like between 3540 or 37. If it doesn't, then I think this is a breakdown, right? And maybe you see a lower level being formed like 33, 34 over here to retest this low. Yeah. Yeah. You want to take the last one on by David, Palantir. Okay, Palantir, I think it's still very strong. After the earnings, a strong rally and then rally above this uptrend channel in blue actually. Currently doing a bit of sideways consolidation, which is okay. To digest a bit of the gains. Yeah, so it'll be a range between like 33.5 to 35.5. I think maybe you probably go and reconnect the 10-day MA. Then we see whether it can bounce afterwards. Yeah, I think for this is still okay. As long as this range is able to hold, then maybe you could see it trade higher if it continues to break up. Next resistance is around 27 as a swing high, then followed by 29. Yeah, for Palantir. Okay, I think that's all for today. Let me just share the link for the survey form and also the P3. Yeah, okay. Hi everyone. Feel free to fill out the survey if you have any feedback about today's session. Also, feel free to join Podium 3 Telegram group. Podium 3 community on TA if you haven't. You can download the app, the link below. Yeah, also we have a Poems Telegram group. It's called at Poems TA. Just drop in the chat. Yeah, if you haven't joined, you can feel free to join also for more TA as well. Yeah, so I think that's all for today's session. I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. There will be no session next week. So next one is on 4th of around 4th of March. Yeah, so I think that's all. Have a good night, everyone. There's no trading tonight. If you don't know yet, yeah, so you can have a good early rest tonight. Then, yeah, have a good week ahead. So yeah, this week, yeah, have a good safe trading week ahead. Also, Nvidia earnings are so that's the big one. I think the market will be looking forward to. Yeah, bye bye everyone. Bye bye.